All right, I'm back. I've gotten the tie rod in off. To get it off, you take the nut off the top of the tie rod. But before you take the tie rod in off out of the hole here, break the nut that's between the tie rod, that's up behind the tie rod. Get that, break the force off it. As you can see, I spray painted before I moved anything to mark where it stopped, where that nut stopped. So when I put the other nut back on, that's where I'm gonna stop. Well, actually, I found out the ones that I ordered, the parts that I ordered, their tie rod is longer than mine. So I just made up the little difference and marked a little bit past where the original mark is. Plus I got to take to the lineman shop anyway, but to get me in the general area, that's how I did it. I sprayed some paint while it was all together, then I took it apart. So now I'm at the point where you got to take your inner tie rod off. So what I'm going to do, there's a couple of ways to do it. You can go order, buy a tool, rent a tool to get it off. I'm going to use a pipe wrench. It worked fine. The thread is back here. You can, if you want to. I see that it would take this off, take your lower control arm off to give you working room. If you want to, you can do that. I think that's what I did actually. Go ahead and take your lower control arm off, and then you'll have room to operate to get this off. And then, of course, to put it back on, you do it in reverse. Like I said, I used a pipe wrench. Let me see. I just put a pipe wrench on it, got a hold of the threads, and spun it off. Let me see. Maybe you didn't see that. I wasn't looking at the camera. I took a pipe wrench and put it. The thread. This was made with the thread part kind of where's the octagon or where you catch on it back here on the back side. Now you may be able to get a grip. Pipe wrench is designed to grab a pipe, period. Well, you may be able to grab on this part and turn it, but just spin it off. When I put it back on, I made sure I put just a dab of Loctite, the red Loctite on it, and put it back in and tighten it back down. So now I'm going to go ahead, before I get this off. See, they're gone. I mean, it's gone. Ain't supposed to move that easy. But anyway, before I take this off, I'm gonna go ahead and take those two bolts out. Nut and bolt. Take this one out. That's a 19 that I used on top. I don't exactly remember what I used on the bottom. They're not the same. Maybe a 15 or something like that. I don't remember what I used. But anyway, you'll find out what size it is. And I took my impact on this side. I put a box-end wrench up on top and then use my impact on the bottom. There was enough room here. I had to use a ratchet, which was slow. I mean, back there. Let me see if you can see it. Right there. Right there. And that's the side with the nut on it. The other part is underneath this frame. It's a hole under there. And you stick your ratchet in there and get it off. Get those off. And what I did to keep from taking this knuckle off, I just pushed down on it and pulled out on the knuckle enough for it to come out. It wasn't super easy, but I did it. I was able to do it and did it in reverse. Had to have some help to put it back on. Had to have somebody step on it here and push down while I pushed the axle in and lined the ball joint up, and it went back in. But that's basically all it is as far as doing it. So you're gonna take your caliper off and bracket at the same time. You're gonna take the little brake, the little guard on the side. You're gonna take that off to get it out of your way. You're gonna take this nut loose. The reason is so you'll have room to have flexibility. This shock kind of move in. Don't pull on it too hard. You don't want to bend it, but you're gonna have to pull out on it a little bit. That'll give you a little movement. If you leave this nut on, you won't be able to move it. So you take the nut off here, and it will move out a little bit, and then push down your control arm. You're gonna have to put a little effort into it, and you'll get it out. Once you get that out, unbolt here, those two bolts, those two nuts and bolts, and then you unbolt here underneath the frame. It's a nut in that. I hope you can see it's a nut in that hole. You got to back it out. And I used a 1-inch open end wrench to get this off. And I held it with a 7/16 on the top part to keep it from spinning. And then once I push down on it, the nut will fall off. I already got it loose. Just spin it all the way off. Make sure it's all the way off. See, it's off. It won't come out because of your, but when you push down on it, it'll just fall off out of the way. Then pull your control arm out. Then pull your control arm out, and then take this off. I used you can go rent a tool or buy a tool. I used a pipe wrench. Get that off, put it back on, do everything else. Do everything else in reverse. I hope it helped. It's a little sporadic with my video shooting because I'm by myself, but I hope it helped and it showed you what you need. Any questions, just put them in the comments. All right.